Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sports Department Podcast, the wrestling recap version, if you want to call it that. Still the first episode of 2022. Myself, Stephen Clark, Justin Valentovic, and Jesse Norman, all here to break down the first wrestling pay-per-view of 2022, which is WWE Day 1. It was, I'd say, a pretty good show overall, but we're going to get to that in the podcast. But before we get to all that fun stuff, fellas, how you guys doing in the new year?
I'm good. We kind of took a little break here and there, mainly because Adobe was broken and I couldn't export to YouTube. So at that point, kind of killed all mojo of doing this for a little bit till they eventually put out a patch. But we did audio here and there. So we're back to YouTube in both forms of medium for a while. So hopefully Adobe doesn't update and break it again. But like you were saying with Day 1, it was actually a pretty good show. I jokingly said, "Oh, best one of the year," which obviously it was. But no, top to bottom, the matches were all at least entertaining enough to keep my interest. So that was good.
Yeah, I got a hat, so that's cool.
Not only do you have a hat right there, but Jesse Norman, you are the winner of the 2021 wrestling.
Can I hear the final standings?
You can. I was going to get to the final standings, but you will.
I want to know
you will be receiving a T-shirt. I'm not going to say.
I'll wear it on the next wrestling pod, even if I hate it.
Oh,
well,
great.
As long as it comes.
It will. It's being ordered on Friday because that's when the serious money comes in the old account.
That's when the serious money comes in.
So that it will be ordered Friday. Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I wish there was a matching hat. That would make it so much better. But no, we're into the standings of 2021, the final standings, and we'll start with last place. At a mere 3 pay-per-view wins.
I won 3.
You won 3.
Wow.
Justin.
I don't remember any. One of them was a takeover.
You
right?
won a WrestleMania.
I won a WrestleMania.
Day 1, night 1.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Justin won night 1, or did you guys tie?
I think we tied.
1,
I'm pretty sure we tied.
And then I won night 2 outright.
Yeah, I was pissed.
I remember. I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't believe we actually kept up with it for a full year.
Yeah,
that's an even bigger accomplishment.
I know. In second place with 9, myself. Whatever. And in first place with 13.
There were 25 pay-per-views. Holy.
Ties.
Ties.
Okay, but
me
still.
and Clark tied a good amount too.
Yeah.
Ties. There were probably at least 15, right?
Well, there's going to be even more this year now because we are including AEW pay-per-views as well into this year's predictions.
I am so fucked.
We're going to try to do takeovers. I mean, takeovers are tough because
they're
kind of
good.
Yeah, they're kind of rebranding NXT. There might not always be a podcast, but we'll do some sort of predictions on those. But everything else stays the same. I'm not going to implement a lock yet. I was thinking it over, and it's kind of tough to do. And maybe after Mania, I'll start doing something with a lock or something. And I don't know.
Something like just locked Roman.
Yeah, but
every single
that's the thing. You can't
anyway to amend the scoring system so Jesse doesn't run away with it.
Yeah, I'll try. Maybe
watch. We're saying that, but then Clark is gonna beat me this year, probably. Like that's what's gonna happen. Somehow.
What about me?
Speaking of Clark beating you, let's get into the results of this first pay-per-view right now of 2021.
Oh,
22.
I want to make this note. I thought that this pay-per-view was going on the previous record, and it didn't matter. So I half-assed this one. So that's just for the record. I will be on my A game next time.
It was literally
Justin. I'm pretty sure I probably still finished better than you, half-assing it.
Well, it was literally Day 1 of 2022. That was the first stick of the pay-per-view.
Hey man, I don't know.
They're running out of themes now. They're doing calendar date themes now.
So, with 3 matches wrong, coming in third for this pay-per-view is Jesse.
Yeah. I don't know why I picked the New Day.
Also, with 3 matches wrong, tied for last is Justin. I got Justin's I got his hopes up there a little bit. And with 1 match wrong, only being the main event.
There were 7 matches. Fuck.
Yeah, only 1 match wrong. The main event. I had Biggie, Brock won. We'll get to that. But as the standings stay for right now, I have 1. Justin has 0. Jesse has 0, but that will certainly change. At least the one all the way to the right will change, and that's Jesse. All right, let's get right into the pay-per-view. We got all the analytical garbage out of the way, and let's start with the main event. Originally supposed to be a fatal 4-way for the WWE title. Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley. Comes out a couple hours before the show that Roman Reigns has COVID, and obviously he's not going to fight because he has, COVID. You're not going to have a match with COVID, especially with his leukemia, probably taking a little bit more of a toll on him. So, the Roman Brock gets scrapped, and Brock gets added into now a fatal 5-way match for the WWE title. And when it's all said and done, Brock wins the match. What did you guys think of the result? What did you guys think of the match?
You gave us the opportunity to change our picks, and
I did.
our dumbasses.
I did. No, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It wouldn't have mattered
because I figured
Clark still wins.
Oh yeah, no, it wouldn't have mattered.
But I still figured, maybe they'll hold off with Brock. He'll just be there to clean a house, but he won't be part of the pin. They'll hold off so they can pay him still. And then when Roman's back, this will be the Rumble match, title match. Nope, not at all. No, and that's not what they're doing. Brock got a belt because Roman got COVID, which makes me think, I wonder then if they were taking the belt off of Roman and having Paul Heyman be a factor in that, but because obviously Roman's not there, they couldn't do that.
I don't think so.
My thinking is Roman was going to beat Brock, and then Brock was probably going to move to Raw. Maybe the Rumble is involved or something. I think the end goal probably was Brock for the WWE Championship, because I don't see how they would just take it off Roman just to give it to Brock. But then again, it's
never
Brock.
know.
But this just stalls out the whole who's Paul Heyman's favorite son storyline.
Paul Heyman's who came out with Brock tonight. He introduced him.
No, I know. I saw
and Roman fired him.
Yeah.
So I think that's done. I think they're over that now. We'll never see Brock probably on SmackDown again.
Probably not. But no, I like Justin said, I gave you guys a chance to change your picks and no one did. So this was a shock to everybody, plain and simple, because no one predicted this. No one really saw this.
Well, it just felt like, why would you give Big E this big whole they kind of made it seem like he was going to be the opposition to Roman on SmackDown. Like he was leading Raw into this year, into the WrestleMania season, and he's not. I mean, he's definitely. He even ate the pin.
That's the more shocking.
That's the thing that made it seem to me that they were setting more up of Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. You can't tell me that it's Big E and Brock Lesnar when Big E ate the pin in a 5-man match. There were 3 other people to cover.
Unless they could have had Kevin Owens just eat the pin, because that's probably what
who cares about if Kevin Owens gets pinned or Seth Rollins? Seth Rollins gets pinned every other week.
So I guess their plan moving forward is going to be Big E probably wins the Rumble and challenges
exactly
Brock.
What I was going to go with now. Yep.
Stupid.
I think
that's dumb.
Well, they're having a fatal 4-way now. We don't know the result of that. The original fatal 4-way they're running on Raw. I think Lashley wins that. Lashley, Brock finally run that at the Rumble. Big 4 pay-per-view. That's fine. I'm agreeing with you 100%, Justin. Big E's winning the Rumble this year, and then he's going to take back the title night 2 of something or WrestleMania.
I have a worse prediction that I think is possible.
Kevin Owens wins the Rumble.
I think the person to. What if the person to unseat Roman is Drew just wins the Rumble again, and Drew beats Roman?
That is worse.
I think there's a definite chance. I do. Because who else? Who on SmackDown?
You're right.
What are they going to do with Roman?
No, that's the match.
That's
nobody. For sure the match. We just don't know how they're going to get to that point yet.
We don't know how they're going to do it, but they've kept Drew and Roman away for a while now.
Yeah. That's 100%. That's 100% the match. Yeah.
I really don't want Drew to win that Rumble.
I hope not.
I really don't want Drew to be in the Roman match.
But
I don't see another person on SmackDown that's
capable.
That's going to run with Roman at Mania. I mean, who on SmackDown right now?
I don't even know who's there now.
If anyone,
that's what I'm trying to think.
If anyone, I'd say, just to put an arguing point, which I don't even agree with, I'd put Nakamura probably, but that's still.
Oh, come on. And they don't care about Nakamura.
And exactly. They don't. No.
I mean, you look at Raw. Raw has like a ton of guys at the top now with the reshuffling. Do you know what would honestly be a really good one if they just moved AJ to SmackDown?
Please.
Just slide AJ to SmackDown and let AJ and Roman do a Mania
that's
match.
a safe bet of a match too.
And AJ doesn't have a Rumble win.
Yeah, you're right.
That would be cute.
That's like the one thing he hasn't. That and like Money in the Bank.
That's the one thing he hasn't really.
Yeah. No, so that was the main event, the whole big prediction battle going on. But let's continue down the card, go to the Raw Women's Championship match where we saw Becky Lynch defend and retain against Liv Morgan, a rematch from a couple weeks ago on Raw. I thought the match was fine. I think Liv's getting better every month. She did a nice little sunset flip that was like pitch perfect. I thought it was great. Becky messed up the ending a little bit, trying to put her feet on the ropes, probably further the story a little bit. But overall, I thought it was a fine match.
Yeah. Jesse, I know you have an opinion on them working together.
I just feel like they don't work great together. And I love Liv and I love Becky. I think it's very well documented how much I think Liv deserves a chance. I just feel like their matches are a little sloppy. I just think they miss a couple things.
I think
here
that's
and
still
there.
on Liv's inexperience.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I don't love them. I also don't know why they brought Becky back and then immediately made her heel. When everybody just wanted to cheer her. But that's another thing in the Raw Women's division. It's like, who, if they're not doing Becky and Bianca, which was the SummerSlam thing, what are they doing?
I think they're going to eventually
I don't want to see Becky and
Bianca's your Mania match, I think.
I don't want to see Becky and Liv again. I think it would be cool if Liv won the Rumble and had 2 to 3 extra months and maybe could, put extra work in the Performance Center and everything like that, maybe. But I don't think she's the person that's taking the belt off Becky.
I think your safe bet for Mania match is either Bianca or Rhea at this point.
I forgot about Rhea.
Yeah, because she's been tagging with Nikki. That's why.
Yeah.
But that's bound to break up soon. They lost the titles already to Mella and Zelina, so that's bound to break up eventually. Rhea winning the Rumble would be great too. A young star like that. But no, Justin, any thoughts on this, or do you want to continue?
No, let's move on.
All right. So next we had Edge and The Miz, and Edge matches. He makes anybody look good, especially someone who doesn't have the best in ring is The Miz. Even though Miz has improved obviously over the years, but the biggest takeaway from this match is that Beth Phoenix came back. It looks like they're setting up a Mania mixed tag match.
Yes, they are.
Why is Miz and Maurice like
the go-to?
They fired Morrison
team.
Yeah,
that's why.
They're the go-to if you're dating a superstar, go-to to have a on-screen feud with, and they're married for Edge and Beth Phoenix, so it makes sense. And she left NXT as a commentator about
that
month or so ago, give or take. So now we see why, because she's probably gonna have at least one more little run, and it'll probably be at Mania. I was texting Clark. I like that Edge does the Brood gimmick now, like mixed in with current Edge. Like that's very nice and refreshing to see him kind of come out for pay-per-views.
I think he's gonna drop that again now. I think he's done with it after this feud. But it'd be cool to see him keep it.
Like just one random times like Christian to show up, but it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen now.
But it'd be awesome. Just randomly, like no one knows, just Christian just shows up.
Gangrel.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Isn't he like a porn star now?
I don't think so.
He did porn, I think.
How do you know?
You would know.
But yeah, the match was fine. You can't go wrong with Edge matches. He puts on great matches ever since he's come back, and honestly, obviously before he got hurt too.
Broken neck, torn bicep, after all of his injuries.
Yeah, that fun stuff. All right, switching gears, Justin, onto RK Bro. Huh? Oh, no, full gear. We had RK Bro again, and there's only one title change, and that was Brock. So another
came out with my favorite musical group, Migos.
Are you ready, Justin?
Migos.
RK Bro defended and retained against the Street Profits. Fine. I got
match.
Nothing. Fine. Good pay match.
Cool.
It's just a time bomb, I think, until Riddle gets dumped by Orton.
They like the thing is they like look so good. Like they're
that's the problem. They work really well together.
Yeah.
But it's also like, who are they
yeah.
going to drop the belts to if they're not going to drop them to the Street Profits?
Oh, well, who cares? It's the tag team division. They don't
Yeah, they
care.
don't give a shit.
They'll just give it to the Street. They'll give it to the Profits. They'll give it to somebody. It doesn't matter. Maybe Braun will come back, bury the whole tag division for Mania. It's a Mania tradition.
Win it with another child.
Braun comes in around Mania time. They don't have anything for him to do, so he buries the tag teams. Sounds good to me. Maybe that'll be Omos this year. That'll be cool. Omos decides he could have done it all without AJ. Wins the titles back.
There you go.
So side note, if we're done with this match, I have the SmackDown men's roster. It is sparse.
Yeah, no, it is.
Some of the men are Angel. Nope. Cesaro.
They already kind of did that last year.
Gulak, that ain't happening. McIntyre, obviously. But then Happy Corbin, which no one wants to see. Humberto, not going to happen.
I like Corbin.
Both Usos, not happening. Jinder Mahal, I don't even think he's on the active roster currently doing anything. King Woods, no shot. They gave him King of the Ring specifically not to give him a title match. Madcap Moss, God help us if that.
Yeah.
Kofi, Mace is technically on the SmackDown roster. Mustafa Ali. Mr. McMahon's on the current SmackDown roster.
Let's go. Vince versus Roman at Mania.
So is Pat McAfee, but then you have Ridge Holland, Ricochet, Sami Zayn, Sheamus, Shanky. Don't know who that is. And then Shinsuke Nakamura. Those are literally the male competitors.
Okay.
If only they built up Ricochet. If only they built up Ricochet.
Legitimately, who is the third
option
guy in that?
Nakamura.
Roman McIntyre. You guys can't keep saying Nakamura. They don't care about Nakamura.
It's gonna be
That's the third option.
It's Corbin.
Honestly, I think the third option is either Corbin or Sheamus. Like Sheamus is their most legit No. You get Sheamus is more legit than Sami Zayn in WWE.
Yeah,
Pat would be great.
Run that at like an elimination chamber. That'd be hype.
Put Pat in the pod.
Yes.
Put Pat in the chamber.
Yeah, but no, they have
no
option.
If only they built up Ricochet, man. That would have been so good. Ricochet Roman at Mania.
Build them up to fire.
That is a really bad roster.
Yeah, Raw. That's why Raw's been good and SmackDown's been garbage lately.
Well, that's what they flipped it specifically for.
Yeah.
Well, because SmackDown
was winning for like 2 years.
SmackDown was also built for, it's like a 2-hour show. Take 20 minutes away for commercials. Take another 25 minutes away for Roman and Bloodline stuff. You only have an hour-long show. That's all they need. That's all they need. If your whole show is built around Roman, you have 2 to 3 Roman segments and Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso.
And then you got commercials. So then at that point,
SmackDown.
At that point, you're in the program for 30 minutes.
Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
All right, let's move on to the next match. I'll spend a lot of time on this match right now. McIntyre defeated Madcap Moss.
This was my bathroom break match, so I have no comment on this match.
I have nothing at all.
This was a Drew McIntyre match. He's a big beefy man.
They should have been on the kickoff
fast.
He does move fast.
Yeah, he moves fast, and he counts his Claymore, and he counted it, and he missed, and then he hit it literally 3 seconds later. He missed. The guy just ran the other way, and then McIntyre just chased after him and hit it. It didn't really make sense for him to miss it the first time.
I would have rather put Corbin on instead of Moss. That's a dumb match.
Here's the other issue with McIntyre and why I don't want to see him with the belt again and why I don't want to see him at Mania again. One, they already did that last year. He had that super long reign.
Too long, yeah.
Nobody wanted more of it. It went on forever. And now, since he's been moved over to SmackDown, what good matches has he had? Nope. Not that it's his fault.
He has nothing to work with.
Went up against Jinder Mahal.
He has nothing interesting to work with.
And what's his name? Madcap Moss? Moss?
I actually had to Google who this guy was.
Corbin's
when Clark sent the picks, I had to look up who he was to have an idea of what I was picking against.
Madcap Moss.
I just
bring back Mojo Rawley at this rate.
No.
How can you get invested in Drew if you literally could not care about his matches whatsoever?
Yeah, no, I agree. And finishing off 2 more matches. I mean, they both have nothing to really talk about except for how good this next match was, which was the Usos defeating the New Day, retaining their titles. I mean, Uso New
Match
Day.
of the night for sure.
I
Yeah.
agree.
No, for sure. I
Yeah.
100% agree too.
It was the opener essentially.
Opener of the main card. Yeah. I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah.
can't go wrong with these two. I mean, and again, another tag team on SmackDown.
Good, because we'll be seeing another 5 times.
Probably. I just don't see them losing the titles too. Like just like the RK Bro. Like who are you gonna do it to? Like there's no one, unless you run someone.
Unless they lose it to the New Day.
Exactly. Literally. Exactly.
Or they might throw together a team. Maybe Angel Garza and Sheamus. Put the bar back together.
Yes.
But isn't this whole feud
back
with them sort of that they're not getting back together? Like, isn't that kind of the whole premise of their?
Yeah, that's what Sheamus and Ridge is.
Yeah, watch wrestling, Jesse.
Whoa.
Throw a curveball. Put them back together now.
Ooh.
Go out. Do another best of 7 series.
Do a faction.
Put them back together.
Do a faction. Sheamus, Cesaro, and Ridge.
Yeah, that'll ever happen.
Speaking of that was the pre-show match. Sheamus and Ridge versus Cesaro and Ricochet. Ridge broke his nose right at the beginning of the match, and Sheamus won a 2-on-1 handicap match.
This man is fragile as hell.
Yeah, I know. You're right.
Yeah. This is what, his 3rd time getting hurt?
Either second or third.
He was supposed to be in the War Games a while ago, and then they put McAfee in.
Yeah.
Instead.
Wild. Yeah. And then Sheamus won a 2-on-1 handicap match basically against Cesaro and Ricochet. So you know
I'm
how
telling you,
he is
the 3rd guy. He is the 3rd guy on that roster.
Honestly, a nice babyface Sheamus run. I can get behind that. Right now.
Could you, man?
I could.
Could you?
I could. Oh boy. All right. Ratings out of 10.
Has Sheamus won a Rumble? He has, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how he went on to obliterate
to beat Brian in 13 seconds. Yep.
All right. Ratings out of 10 for the first pay-per-view of 2022.
You won. You can go first.
Sure. Thanks. 6 point. Now higher. 7.8.
I'll give it a 7.
I'm giving it also a flat 7.
All right. 0.8 is because Kevin Owens was in the main event. And that does it for this episode of the Sports Department Podcast. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hopefully watching. It should be up on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify, all that great stuff. Our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at SportsDepthPod. We're going to recap this past week of the NFL season. We'll be getting to
playoffs are around the corner.
Playoffs, exactly, to Super Bowl. No MLB content pretty much because everything's still a standstill. And we'll probably throw in a basketball episode. Why not? Season's starting to heat up. It's almost All-Star break in about a month from now. So, it's a fun time for basketball now. And especially but with all the COVID, it's kind of a mess too. But we'll try to put some stuff out. So stay tuned to all that fun stuff. And we'll see you in the next episode.